Should I text them? Should I text them? Good evening. It is 6 p.m., March 22nd, 2022. And buenas tardes and good afternoon. So nice to see you all, the students and the staff and the parents. God bless you all. I call to order of the Mercedes ISD School Board of Trustees, the regular school board meeting. We have a quorum, myself, Vice President, Ms. Delgado, Secretary Pete Martinez, our board members, Ms. Rich Trevino, Mr. Rick Garza, and Mr. Eddie Howe, and of course, our Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Mendoza. For the record, Mr. Acosta is not present. Moving along with our agenda, we have the Pledge of Allegiance by the Mercedes Academic Academy students. We have American flag, Micaela de la Torre, and Texas flag by Mia Flores. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Please bow our heads. Lord, give us the insight to lead with integrity, that our decision may reflect what is right and good. Keep us from short-sightedness and pettiness. Help us make decisions that are for the good of all, and guard us from blind self-interest. Dear Lord, grant us the humility to always seek your will in all we do and say. All glory to be you, loving God, now and always through Christ and the Holy Spirit, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Vince. Okay, guys, moving along with the open forum. And by the way, thank you so much, the students, Ms. De La Torre and Ms. Flores. Appreciate it. Open forum, public comment. Ms. Marta? No, sir. Okay, so moving along, guys, with the superintendent's report. A, student recognition. 1, the band UIL solo ensemble presented by Guy McKinney and band director. Ms. Mendoza.
Good evening, Mr. Board President, Board of Trustees, Mercedes ISD community, and staff. We have a lot of recognitions this evening, and we're going to start off with our band with Mr. Guy McKinney.
Yeah, Mr. McKinney. Welcome, Mr. McKinney.
Thank you very much. We want to congratulate our student musicians of Mercedes. In January, the UIL Solo and Ensemble Contest took place for both the orchestra and band members. 67 First Division medals were awarded to our band and orchestra students overall. There were 6 ensembles, 5 of which advanced to the state level. The ensembles advancing are a saxophone trio, 2 trumpet trios, and 2 percussion ensembles. Then we had 21st First Division medalists for their solo performances, with 11 of those memorizing the solo and qualifying to advance to state. The ones that are here, if you guys come on forward, we have Alina Garcia on violin, Jacob Garabay and baritone, Jared Gonzalez on French horn, Gilbert Moya on baritone, Rudy Pedraza on multi-tenor percussion, Daniel Ramirez on snare drum, Jesus Tamez on piano. And that would wrap it up. If all the band members come forward, they were involved in a solo or ensemble. The small ensembles and solos will perform at UT Austin on May 30th. Thank you to all the students and to all the directors for their hard work and dedication to the student musicians of Mercedes Band and Orchestra programs.
introduce yourself.
How are you? How you doing? Good.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations. 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 Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Sir Kenny, gracias.
Hey, you gotta get sick so you can be strong when you're old.
What, you don't want to be around? Okay, ready, Ms. Vidal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving along, guys, on A2, the Battle of the Books winners presented by
Good
Dania
evening,
and
Ms.
Head
Mendiola
Librarian.
and Board of Trustees. The Battle of the Books is a literacy competition designed to encourage students to read quality literature. Students are required to read books from a list of titles selected by Region 1. The students worked with their campus librarian and started preparing and reading these books in September for this event. All our campuses participated in the district competition in January, and tonight we have the winners. These students advanced to the regional competition at Region 1 earlier in February and represented Mercedes ISD in the regional Battle of the Books competition. The elementary winners for this year are from Ruben Hinojosa Elementary. Jose Garcia Jr., Kylie Carrillo,
Okay.
Jocelyn Mendoza,
Congratulations.
Olivia Olivares, and the campus librarian, Ms. Maricela Molina.
Martinez? How are you? Doing great. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Stand for a picture. Ms. Garza? Ms. Bustamante, so we can take a photo.
Thank you so much, man.
Stand right there, sweetheart.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'll follow your recommendations. You don't want me to get sick?
Thank you. Now I'll introduce my middle school winners. The middle school winners for this year come from Sergeant Manuel Chacon Middle School. We have Carly Rabel, Nora Gonzalez, Adrian Gonzalez, and the librarian, Mrs. Corina Acosta.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Mr. Owens. So your colleagues are competing, no? Your colleagues, no? Camaradas. We guys in the same school, no? Camaradas. Chacón, right?
Thank you. And the winners for the high school competition this year are coming from Mercedes High School. We have Alexa Ochoa, Samantha Ramirez, Ayana Rincon, Jared Gonzalez.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay. Do you want to do it now, or do you want me to do the rest of the story? Yeah, let me do the rest of the story. Okay, so I have a little added plus for our high school competition. So as I mentioned, each of our schools were part of the Region 1 regional competition that was held in February. So I'm proud to say that Mercedes High School was the winner of the high school regional competition in Region 1. They competed among 14 high schools throughout the valley, and Mercedes High School is the first 5A school in Region 1 that has won this competition. We're extremely proud of these students, and we congratulate them on this great achievement.
Thank you so much, man.
Congrats again, Rick.
Ma'am, yes, sir.
Thank you so much, man. Good job.
Do you want me to say this, or do you want to? Yeah, go for it. Okay. Next up, we have the girls powerlifting regional qualifiers and our 2 state medalists, and we have Coach Adame that will be presenting them this evening.
Good evening, Superintendent Mendiola, Board President Hernandez. First thing I want to do is, thank everyone here for the support we've gotten all year. Competing at a high level as these girls have, it's not easy, and we got a lot of support all season from our administration, our superintendent, our board members attending these functions. It means a lot to our athletes to see them out there and the support. So, just wanted to thank you all, not only for the support, but financial support too. They do travel a lot. They need special customized uniforms, and, those aren't cheap. And so we were able to get them the best of the best, and they went out there and competed. So, again, we appreciate all that. We got Mercedes ISD Lady Tigers powerlifting team of 11 girls competed in 5 invitational meets. Over 6 weeks, the team practiced vigorously before each competition. During each competition, our Lady Tigers had to meet criteria to be able to qualify for the 5A regional meet. I'm proud to announce that 11 girls of the Mercedes ISD powerlifting team met one or more of the qualifications to attend the regional meet held at the Dodge Arena on Saturday, March 2nd, 2022. This team competed with the best of our region, and 2 of them placed first and second in their class weight division and qualified for state. Cassandra Martinez and Crystal Jimenez qualified for the Texas High School Women's Powerlifting 5A Division I Small School State Meet. Cassandra Martinez and Crystal Jimenez both placed second in their class weight division, making them the second strongest girls in the state of Texas High School Women's Powerlifting Association. So I'm going to go ahead and call all the girls out. If you saw some of these girls compete, some of that weight they put on those bars, it's pretty intimidating. Even some they would lift in our weight room with our football team, and some of our football players come out and say, that's kind of a lot of weight that the girls are putting on there. Yeah. So, but it goes to a testament to these girls who were first ones in, last ones out, and their coaches as well. We got Cassandra Martinez, Crystal Jimenez, Sarah Longoria, Karina Rabo, Ricky Castillo, Caitlin Rojas, Bridget Sanchez, Leslie Martinez, Alexandra Guajardo, Gabby Herrera, and Cassandra Castillo. Coaches Álvaro González and Geraldo Pérez.
Coach, thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much, Coach. Hey, did you lift a lot? Captain? Did you lift a lot? Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, Coach. We got girls' basketball by district finalists.
Yeah, we got our girls' basketball team, another successful year under the leadership of Coach Rivas. If you got a chance to watch them play, which I did see a lot of our administration there and our superintendent, our board members, a lot of exciting games, a lot of close games, a lot of games out there that they competed at a very high level as well. So we'll go ahead and announce them. They ended up finishing third due to a flip. They ended up getting the fourth place seed, but competed very well in the by-district round. I'll go ahead and announce their names, their awards they got selected for in their district, and they also some of them did receive academic awards. So we have by-district finalists, girls varsity basketball, Serena Lemus, first team all-district, all-defensive team, and all-academic team. We got Danielle Barroso, second team all-district. We got Leah Alame, second team all-district, all-academic. We got Jada Luna, honorable mention, all-academic. Abigail Rocha, honorable mention. Randy Lara, honorable mention, all-academic. Jamie Flores, honorable mention, all-academic. Regina Gaitan, all-academic. DeAsia Brown, all-academic. And Rai Lara, all-academic. Coaches are Coach Rivas, Coach Mata, Coach Ramirez.
Coach Rivas, thank you so much. Ballin', man. Ballin'. Did you play basketball or no? You're more like bench warmer. They keep on. The Hernandez technique. It was dynamite.
Okay, next up, we have our CTE Director, Ms. Debbie Rabel. We have quite a bit of recognitions in our CTE department, so we're going to be up there making sure that we get everybody recognized this evening.
Yes. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Mendiola, Mercedes ISD personnel, and Mercedes community members. I stand before you tonight as a proud CTE Director, highlighting the amazing accomplishments that are taking place in the CTE department. Tonight, we have the following groups of students that I would like to recognize. First, I'd like to ask the Ag Mechanics team to please come up. Ag Mechanics. Mercedes ISD was represented by the Mercedes Ag Mechanics teams with 2 trailer projects. Jose Ruiz, Jesse Trevino, Ryan Lackey, Jesus Villalobos, Brandon Gomez, Barrett Robel, Gilbert Garcia, Raul Manzanares, and Manuel Murillo fabricated a 16-foot stock trailer and a 10-foot welding trailer. The students competed in San Angelo, Texas, both earning a second place in their division. The San Antonio Livestock Show with the stock trailer placing third. The Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show with the stock trailer earning overall grand champion and the welding trailer earning overall reserve grand champion. Then they went off to the Houston Livestock Show where the stock trailer received a 3rd place and the welding trailer a 4th place in their division. Great job, gentlemen, and we look forward to next year's projects. And a big thank you to Mr. Oscar Rodriguez, our ag mechanics teacher, for your dedication, guidance, and support. Great job. All right, thank you.
Good job, guys.
Next, we have our Skills USA students. Skills USA, please come up. Okay. A big congratulations to the 14 Mercedes ISD cosmetology students who participated in the Skills USA competition in Harlingen, Texas on February 18th. Go through the middle. On February 18th. All student projects received a blue ribbon and maximum points, advancing to the state Skills USA competition being held in Corpus Christi, Texas on April the 1st. Thank you, Ms. Sarah Leal, for all your dedication, guidance, and support with the students. Good luck, girls. Okay, next we have our FFA students. So FFA, please start making your way up. Mercedes ISD was well represented at the Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show last week with a total of 32 animal projects, a photography project, livestock judging, the pig scramble, and the calf scramble. Honorable mentions include the following: Matthew Lackey and Haley Burciaga with 2nd place finishes in the breeding gilts, Jamie Cavazos with a 3rd place finish with her market hog and making auction with a $1,000 add-on, Alessandra Alvarado with a 3rd place finish with her market steer and making auction with a $1,200 add-on. Riley Trevino with a 3rd place finish with her red Brangus heifer. And Jaden Cruz winning 2nd place in the black and white photography. Mercedes FFA also competed in the livestock judging with the intermediate team, earning a 2nd place out of 24 teams. Members are Ariana Luna, Amory Barnes, Carly Robble, and Riley Trevino, who also placed 3rd in the high point individual. The following students were able to catch, okay, I guess we can get this picture first, sorry, before I move on. So real quick, with our intermediate team, the ones who placed 2nd out of 24, Mr. Salinas did put this team together. It was kind of like a last-minute thing. And so without much practice, these kids were able to go in there and get 2nd place out of 24 teams. So the future looks amazing. Okay. Going on, we also have students who were able to catch pigs in the pig scramble. They earned a $125 certificate towards a project for next year. We had Jesse Trevino, Jesus Villalobos, and Ariana Luna who caught pigs in the pig scramble. I know we have some here. And in the calf scramble, Alina Garcia and Karina Robbo caught calves, earning an $800 certificate towards projects for next year. Lastly, I would like to give a special recognition to Kayla Zuniga, representing Mercedes ISD in the Cover Girl contest and placing 2nd runner-up. Great job, students, and thank you, Mr. Eduardo Salinas, for your dedication, guidance, and support. Oh. Mr. Salinas is coming. We have one more. Awesome. Okay, next we have students who took part in taking their OSHA 10 and OSHA 30 certification. Any students that we have for OSHA 10 and OSHA 30? Here with us we have Jose Ruiz Jr., Ryan Lackey, Brandon Gomez, and Barrett Robble. This semester, Mr. Michael Rodriguez, construction and electrical teacher, with assistance from Mr. Oscar Rodriguez, Ernesto Cruz, and Ruben Olivares, CTE teachers, challenged and supported over 40 students in acquiring their OSHA 10 and OSHA 30 certifications. The OSHA 30 certification is a nationally recognized certification indicating that an individual exhibits an understanding of safety roles, including those in construction, manufacturing, factory operations, healthcare, and more. The OSHA 30 certification promotes safe and healthful work environments by training Mercedes ISD students to identify, predict, and avoid hazards in our workshops. Great job, guys. We have over 40 students who did receive their OSHA 10 and OSHA 30, over 40 kids. Wow. Yes, big accomplishment. And lastly, one last program that I do want to highlight is our law enforcement students. Unfortunately, they're not able to be here, but these students, we had 23 law enforcement students who challenged the Level 2 security exam in the fall semester, and they passed. The Level 2 security examination allows our students who are 17 years or older to obtain entry-level security positions in the workforce. 25 students will be challenging the exam this semester, and we wish them the best of luck. Thank you to Mr. David Elizondo and Mr. Jaime Guerra for your dedication, guidance, and support to our law enforcement students. And I just want to say, Board of Trustees, Ms. Mendiola, I thank you all very much. I'm new to this role, but I absolutely love it. There's amazing things that are taking place in our department. And from this point forward, you're going to see it grow, and we're going to be providing our students so many opportunities and setting them up for success. So thank you for your support.
Thank you, Ms. Let's move on to B, special recognition, 1, STC Board Appreciation Gift by Dr. Rebecca De Leon.
Yes.
Ms. Mendiola.
Good evening. We have Dr. De Leon here from STC with a recognition for our board.
Hi, good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Mendiola. Thank you for the opportunity just to say a few words of appreciation on behalf of our Board of Trustees and our President, Ricardo Solis. We want to present you with an STC gift, which serves as a small token of our appreciation for the ongoing commitment for our many successful partnerships. Each January, we host our annual board breakfast, but unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we were unable to celebrate again this year. However, we want to ensure and visit with each of our school districts to highlight a few of the key areas specifically for Mercedes ISD. Through our partnership, we offer dual credit program opportunities to which you have designated high schools, your Mercedes Early College Academy and our Mercedes T-STEM Early College. We are preparing for our commencement ceremonies in the coming month. However, I wanted to highlight that 47 of your students, even in the middle of a pandemic, earned a credential in spring of 2021 in partnership with South Texas College. So we thank you all for all that you do, and we thank you for the ongoing collaboration. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving along with C, presentation 1, health plan, 6 months financial review by Rachel Means, insurance consultant. Ms. Mendiola.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have Ms. Means virtual, who will be presenting this evening. Ms. Means, are you there?
I am here. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am, loud and clear.
Can we get it a little bit louder?
Can we get it louder? Yeah.
There you
Ooh, maybe just a little bit closer to the mic, Ms. Means, if you can.
Is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. Again, I'm Rachel Means, and I was supposed to be the first time. Apologies. We got some tornadoes here over where I live last night, so we out hours this morning, so couldn't make it. Apologies for that. We're going to run through our 6-month financials and kind of a pre-renewal where we are. I know that Ms. Garcia had her presentation at the last board meeting, and she and I have been working together on some financials yesterday and today. So our agenda, and again, I'm just going to run through the slides and then I'll pause for questions. It's a lot of numbers. We might have some follow-up questions, but my goal is just recap the decisions that were made last year when the district decided to go to bid. I was kind of brought in as a consultant for a consultant.
So I am purely here just working for the district on a flat fee to oversee these processes. We're going to go over some outstanding reimbursements that we're owed from our stop-loss carriers, our United Healthcare, which is our TPA that administers our claims, and we're just going to go through the plan financials. Go through the COVID claims. I know that's been a hot spot, and I think you guys are going to discuss that later in the meeting. Some pharmacy updates, which is really great, and we've got a lot going on with the pharmacy plan, which, you know, whenever I came in the picture was, I'd like to say hemorrhaging, and we've kind of arrested a lot of that, and moving forward, we have a very successful program. So opportunities for cost savings and better member access down where your employees are located for next plan year. All right, so here's just a quick recap, and again, if anybody wants to stop me, we can review some numbers and kind of talk through what all the health insurance jargon is. Last year, the district did put out a stop-loss RFP, and we had a ton of respondents. I was hired right as all of the responses were coming in to kind of oversee, show the board and Ms. Mendiola where the money's buried in healthcare. That's kind of what I'm known for. I'm super transparent. So we found a lot of hidden money. Obviously, our PEPM, which that's what in the health insurance land we gauge our savings on, because if you think about it, you can go from 685 on your plan to 715 in the span of 6 months. And that's exactly what's happened with the district. So your budget last year was based on about 685 employees. Well, right now we're sitting at about 713. So that PEPM per employee per month is a great way to gauge how your plan is running. So your stop loss, which is your coverage, I call it the belly button deductible. So you have a deductible for every belly button on the plan, and then you have your aggregate coverage. So that went down from $104.36 to $81.54. So how we gauge that is we take the difference between those two and multiply it by 713 people, and that's your monthly savings on that. Your pharmacy benefit manager, this is a big deal. This is the person who is controlling all the money behind. I'm sure everybody in here watches football games and sees the lovely commercials from Big Pharma all over the screen. Lots of money in pharmaceuticals, and that's really where we dug in a lot last year and did a lot of educating to the board, again, and for Ms. Mendiola. So our PEPM on the pharmacy benefit manager spend has went down from $111.01, and currently in February, it's $79.50. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more on a different slide. Now, we did have, I don't want to call it a mistake. It was just something that an exiting employee of the district during open enrollment last year did not send a termination date to your old pharmacy benefit manager, which it was ESI. And so they were paid some run-out claims, which really probably shouldn't have happened, but we're working on getting some rebates for that. So if we blend those two, we go from $111.01 to $185, which that has been arrested. ESI will no longer be paid any claims after 12/31 of last year. But I did want to note that because we are waiting on some rebates to come in on that amount paid, which I'll have those probably in the next week. We added a $0 pharmacy program with HEB. I work with HEB all over the state on a lot of clients and their own plan. And so we rolled out a program. Generics are really cheap. We shouldn't be at the mercy of a pharmacy benefit manager to mark the price up. So this is great. We've increased generic utilization 6%, which if you take a district employee and you're charging them $10 to $15 a month on 4 maintenance medications, that's $480 a year we just put back in an employee's pocket so they don't have to pay for those generic drugs. So it not only makes them adhere to their medications because they can afford them, but it also lowers the plan cost and keeps them out of the ER if they're not adhering to the maintenance meds. So that program's been really successful. We also last year decreased the office visit copays. I don't know if anybody recalls this, but we did a little benchmarking on, the access was a little high for the income of the district employees. So that's why that decision was made. And again, promotes better adherence to routine office visits and keeps people out of the ER, which is the ultimate goal.
Ms. Means, can I interject real quick, ma'am?
Sure.
The HEB pharmacy, 0. So how difficult was actually negotiate that particular, this is a fabulous discount, 0. I mean, I wish I had that. So how difficult was it, ma'am?
I actually rolled that program out for San Antonio School District 2 years ago. And so you guys didn't have to be the guinea pig or the pilot on that. So what we did is we said, hey, we went to HEB and they have their own pharmacy benefit manager that they ordered their wholesale drugs through, right? So it really wasn't difficult at all for me because I had already negotiated that 2 years ago. So I'd like to give myself a lot of credit, but I already had the plan in place so we could plug and play my clients as we went. But that was a really good question.
So, ma'am, can I ask you a follow-up question to that, ma'am? So on the slide, because I did go through the notes and stuff, I mean, you got to be a rocket scientist, actually. But my quick question would be, can you have a cost analysis between the current year compared to last year? Because, like I said, there was a lot of very difficult decisions. You know, we had some great leadership in Ms. Mendiola and the board, and I think we're going to save a lot of money, correct?
Yeah, so we actually have a slide on that.
Okay.
And I'm going to touch on it a little bit
Follow up.
further in
Okay.
just a few minutes, if
Um,
that's okay.
Ms. Means, I have a question. This is Lucy Delgado. On the decreased office co-pays, it went from $20 to $10. How did it affect the ER co-pays?
So the ER copays, we left the same because, are you talking about the ER utilization?
No, just ER co-pays.
Yeah, so the ER copay stayed the same because,
Okay.
you know, the goal of the ER, so if you go to the ER and it's a true emergency and you're admitted, the copay is actually waived. So you never have to worry about the copay because, God forbid, we want you, if you're having chest pains, to go to the ER, right?
Yeah.
But we left the ER copay the same because, again, we don't want to encourage people to use the ER for routine visits and sniffles, and then the ER charges the plan $2,000. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you.
Any other questions? Those are great. I will continue, and y'all know how to stop me if you need me. Okay, so Ms. Garcia and I met, and the way school districts run is you guys run on a cash accrual. I kind of have a different outlook because I know the stop-loss reimbursements and the rebates that are coming in the future. So we unfortunately had a very large COVID claimant, and we lost a member of the district, and it was really sad, and we've been working on this claim. And so we're owed about $194,000 currently in stop-loss reimbursements we had 2 claimants over $150,000. So again, I've been working with Ms. Garcia on these stop-loss reimbursements, making sure they're filed timely and that they'll be reimbursed timely. So that's good news, almost $200,000 back to the district in the next week or so. We do have $12,000 in outstanding quarter 3 and Q4 from our current pharmacy benefit manager. And, you know, I would be happy to do a pharmacy benefit 101 with everybody because, again, you know, tearing through those layers of redundant money makers in healthcare, you know, just think anything anybody steers you to in healthcare, it's money on top of money. So we chose a very transparent pharmacy benefit manager that passes through all the rebates. So we're owed those rebates. And then we also are owed additional rebates from last plan year from Express Scripts. So I'm waiting on some reporting to estimate those due. And then again, what I talked about earlier, how scripts were processed with an old vendor for 3 months after that they should have been. So we are owed another rebate for fourth quarter. So again, I'll have that total that I will share with Ms. Garcia and Ms. Mendiola so she can pass it on to you guys. But just wanted to point that out, that I will have the estimates on that soon. We did, when we were out to bid last year with United Healthcare, I don't know if everybody recalls, but we had a lot of best and final rounds. I think we did 2 or 3. And one of the allowances from United Healthcare is that they would give us $30,000 for really anything we needed, whether it be technology or just put it on the admin bill for next month. So that's what's happening. They will have the $30,000 allowance on your United Healthcare monthly admin bill by Friday. So that gives you what we call in my world a premium holiday. So you don't have to pay your fees to United Healthcare for next month. So that's a good thing. So total is around $236,000. Now that doesn't have those ESI rebates that I was discussing earlier. So I suspect that number will go up to right about $300,000 by the end of the week. And again, I'll share that with Ms. Garcia and Ms. Mendiola. Any questions on this slide before I move forward?
Well, I got a quick question. I guess it's a really elementary question, but if we had
There's
had...
no elementary questions in health.
Yes, if we didn't have any changes whatsoever, then we would have been on the hook for $300,000, basically.
Oh, so I'm going to show you even
Okay.
way more than that.
Okay.
So, you know, we've talked about, especially with Ms. Garcia's, her COVID claims, and so what we're doing is we've got this seesaw where we did some really good work last year, and I think talking about the transparency with you all really
Correct.
sparked questions, and that's what I love, because, you know, if we wouldn't have went to bid for stop loss, for the PBM, and went to bid for the ASO services, which is United Healthcare, you would be in the same position. I've got a very graphic slide that'll kind of show you what the
Okay.
difference would be. So we'll, I think it's 2 slides from now that I'll address that.
I like the word you're using, Ms. Means. I greatly appreciate it. When you say transparency, it's very important for the taxpayers to actually see the hard work that we're doing. So thank you, ma'am.
And I do this for a lot of clients, and it's kind of shocking the money that's buried. And that's what I'm a big educator. I like the education piece of it. So I'll continue. Okay, so this kind of gives a very broad picture, and again, you know, we can drill down into any service category. The data I have that we track every month is just kind of crazy, but this gives you an idea. So if you look just this first column, the monthly UHC admin fees, again, if you take a pie chart, the admin fees are very, very small because your claims are your big bucket. So just going to bid, we saved $3.30 PEPM. I mean, not a huge deal, but we'll take every penny we get. So not really going to pay attention to the UHC admin fees. The monthly stop loss fee, we talked about this. So your cost went down $22.82 per employee per month. So if you take the difference between those two and multiply it by the 715 employees, obviously you can annualize that, and that's a nice chunk of savings. And I will give a lot of credit to the board and Ms. Mendiola last year. We went through an exercise of tearing through bids and stop loss contracts and found a lot of, I would say, buried money that the district didn't really know was there before. And so that contributed to a lot of that savings. And I anticipate this year will be the same, because we're not having a lot of stop loss reimbursements, relatively speaking, to the premium that we have. If you go over here, this is your medical claims, and I put net because this is after stop loss reimbursement. So you'll see, and this is what Ms. Garcia talked about your last meeting, that cost is actually up $48.99 per employee per month. But what you can see, the work that the board did last year, is you're offsetting with those savings of everything you moved last year. So if you wouldn't have moved that, you would be up to where you were the year before. So if you look at the PBM, from $111 a month to $79, that's really helping. That $31.51 is really helping offset this $48.99, right? So that goes back to the questions I had earlier of where would we be if we hadn't have done these moves last year. I'm gonna pause for questions on this slide.
Not at all.
All right, I'll
Any
keep going.
questions?
All right, here's my least favorite slide to go over with clients pretty much weekly at this point. And I'm not going to harp on this because I know you guys went over this, but the claims were trending up because of COVID claim amounts, but I have a chart on here, I think it's the next slide, that'll show you we're actually really trending down, and we're in a really good position to build some reserves, but we have to make up and kind of claw back for those gigantic COVID claims that we had the last 18 months, because if you look at 624,000 is a pretty big number. Again, every other district I work with, we are allocating ESSER funds to cover a lot of those big COVID claims. Any questions on this? I know you guys have harped on the ESSER funds and COVID claims. Okay, we'll keep going. All right, so here's the kind of progression of where we're going. So our big COVID claims hit October and November, and again, the end of the year, that's what everybody's met their deductible. Everybody goes on holiday, tries to get everything done before the deductible resets. So not uncommon to have some higher claims, but my favorite part of this graph is once you get to December, January, February's down. And the same thing's happening with the trend in how we're handling the pharmacy program. So again, had a couple of bad months with COVID, but I don't see anything out there, because what happens in my consulting model with my team is any large claimant that is happening, we're auditing those claims, and we're really making sure that it's not going to get out of control, and we know where it's going to land, so we can give the district a heads up if we see something happening that's really big. Again, nothing going on right now, and I don't anticipate it. So we're going to keep watching this. I'll open. Anybody have a question on this slide? So again, pharmacy is kind of my favorite subject because it is where all the money is buried in healthcare, and it's just, if you don't watch it, it will spiral out of control, and that's kind of what was happening in the past with your plan. So again, we implemented the RX copay, super successful. We had some people that were just so happy about that, and we have some great stories. But the really big story on this slide is when a drug comes in. So this wasn't happening before on your plan because not a lot of consultants actually know how to do this. So what happens is if you get a drug that comes in that's over $500 a month, that drug's going to come to my team, and we're going to reach out to the member like, hey, we want to help you get this drug for free. Let us help you get the program ready. We don't want anybody to go without their drug. But if you look at this list, this has just happened in the last 2 months. All of these drugs, Triumeq, Otezla, Xeljanz, Trulicity, Xeljanz, those are the commercial drugs. Everybody sees them on the commercials. These are $30,000, $40,000, $60,000 a year drugs that what happens is the member gets a prescription, and then from their doctor they get a copay card. So it's $10 or $20 to them. They don't understand that it's really $46,000 or $50,000 a year, that if we don't watch that, the district's going to have to increase their payroll deductions or their copays later. So the model that we do is we help get that cost off of the plan and off the member. So if you'll notice, just in the last 2 months on these drugs, we had a couple members that were prescribed these. We mitigated $278,000 a year just to the pharmacy plan, and the members each saved $1,320 in copays for the year. So it's a really win-win situation, and I will tell you, your employees and your people are so nice to us, and they're so welcoming of the help. So huge win on that, and again, we watch that pretty much daily. And the next slide, this actually just came in yesterday, and I was telling Ms. Mendiola about it yesterday about this drug. So this is we call it the commercial, the Hollywood drugs. It is an injectable that can be used for a bunch of different things, mostly a biologic for like psoriatic arthritis, skin issues, rheumatoid arthritis, and this drug is $24,000 every 8 or 12 weeks, depending on the treatment plan. And so this drug comes to us. I have a heart attack when I see it in my email inbox, and then my team reaches out to the member. We get to work on either a foundation that'll pay for it, patient assistance that'll pay for it, any type of program. So this drug, we think it'll be approved by Friday, but the member's not in any hurry because the injection isn't due until next Friday. So again, just kind of a different model, and the reason we're always on top of this is the drugs are just, it kind of shocks me how much money is buried in here. So I'll stop there, and maybe if anybody has any questions just about the slide before or this slide.
So this means basically you're an advocate for the school districts. You're not advocating for profits for a particular vendor, et cetera. Is that about right?
No, yeah, I'm kind of transparent to a fault. I work for your people.
Thank you.
That's who I answer to.
Thank you very much. Thank you for helping our
course.
employees.
Of course, yeah, and again, your people. We were on site last year at open enrollment. It was we had a good time. I feel like they trust us, and that's what we want. So, all right, I'm going to run through this, and then we'll open up for questions, and then I know you guys have an agenda other than talking about the crazy healthcare landscape. So here are some just kind of leading into, we call it the open enrollment season and planning. The only thing we didn't touch last year, if you recall, we did stop loss consulting, we did PBM consulting, we looked at all these different opportunities with what we call your network, which was United Healthcare right now. And you notice the only bucket we didn't touch, we didn't save any money. And so United Healthcare has a great network. We do have some opportunities of kind of moving to a third-party administrator and renting networks options. We have some direct agreements down in your area that we could definitely get lower cost. There's some really cool models that we work with, especially in the San Antonio area. We brought them down into the Harlingen, Brownsville area, and FAR especially, that we have free market surgical centers where the surgical procedures can be $0 to the member, and the plan saves about 40%. Just super transparent model. So that you'll be hearing a lot about that. Direct primary care and concierge medicine, this is a huge thing. A lot of my clients use it. The local facilities are paid on a membership model, so they're not charging $180 to $200 for a lab panel. So I love that model, and it gives office visits to your members for free. So they adhere to their care plan. And then again, just the pharmacy consulting, that's huge. The advocacy with the employees is the key. You have to earn their trust in order for them to appreciate the work that we do, and honestly just saving the district money so you don't have to go back and raise co-pays again or their payroll deductions. So that's all I have. I'll kind of pause, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to email me and follow up with me.
Guys, anybody have questions?
On your last slide, are these plans what our employees are using right now?
So
Or
no,
they're
these are opportunities that we can
Opportunities,
discuss for your, sorry, I'm still presenting, there we go. These are opportunities that in the marketplace, I have other clients that are doing this. There's a lot of hot trends and benefits right now because as you can see, if you're not watching it, it'll spiral out of control. So those are just opportunities to bring back to your employees that could save the district some money.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions, guys?
Thank you, Ms. Means.
Ms. Meads, I
Okay,
have a
great.
quick
Thank y'all.
question.
Have a great evening.
Ms. Meads, I have a quick question, I guess for the superintendent as well. Is it possible that we could have almost a comparison? The cost of our insurance with this year's, right?
Yes, sir.
Compared to last year when we did the changes. Is that possible? Can we actually do that?
And I'm sorry, just repeat the first part again. It's kind of muffly.
I just want to have a comparison. The insurance
Oh,
cost.
yeah, like a year over year?
Right, and the overall, because we did have a agent of record, we have another firm, and we had all these vendors in there, and I just want to show it, for the sake of transparency, this is what was happening the past, I don't know how many years, right, compared to the leadership and the correct planning, because I'm a stern believer that you got to have good leadership. I'm a math teacher. You can have all those fancy plans and everything, but if you don't have the leadership as a teacher, it's not going to work. To me, I'm thinking, you know what? Let's compare it. Let's, for the sake of transparency, says this is what we saved, this is what needed to be done, and it was done. Is that possible, Ms. Means and Ms. Mendiola?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes back to, and again, I keep a running spreadsheet that would blow your mind. There's so many numbers, but I track that all the time and I share that. And yes, absolutely, because if you would have stayed on the trajectory we were, you would probably be about $1 million in the hole at this point.
$1 million, okay. You're on the record, man, saying $1 million. So.
Yep. And
Thank you so much.
I could show you the year over year over year. And yeah, and again, you know, our medical costs for UHC are up that $43 PEPM. But if you would have left all the other components where they were, just think about how, and that bar chart says the world. So,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
You
Ms.
bet.
Garza, Ms. Trevino, any questions? Ms. Delgado?
No, just an impressive
Martinez?
6 months, very impressive. Thank you.
Mr. Howell, any questions? Thank you so much, Ms. Go ahead. Go ahead, Eddie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank you so much, Ms. Means.
All right, have a great
Thank you, Ms.
evening.
Mendiola.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys, moving along with the presentation, we are on number 2, rural CCMR Accelerator, presentation by Dr. Nancy Castillo, Assistant Superintendent of CNI. Ms. Mendiola.
Yes, Dr. Castillo?
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Hernandez, Ms. Mendiola, Superintendent, Board of Trustees, and community. Tonight, we will be presenting on the Rural CCMR College Career and Military Accelerated Program. Very excited to have embarked on this particular initiative with our committee from the high school counselors, MECA counselors, and MAL counselors in the administration, along with our content coordinators. And so we embarked on this as soon as the teacher incentive allotment, our coach provided us that there was a sub-grant for this particular program. So this is part of the Texas Impact Network, which also provides us coaching for the teacher incentive allotment. It's part of the Educate Texas partner collaboration to build capacity in school districts across Texas to increase student success. From the application, we saw that about 770 school districts that are rural in the state of Texas were able to apply. And so we embarked on this journey and we were awarded the sub-grant. So the purpose of this is that it indicated that due to limited resources, it assists districts as ours to improve college, career, and military readiness outcome. Successful post-secondary transition for high school students, as far as tracking the students after high school going into college. And it also extends support to start up the funding at a cap of $100,000 to implement CCMR interventions in selected rural Texas school districts. So part of it also is working with participating districts, develop low-cost, high-impact CCMR strategies, achieve their accountability targets and the CCMR board goals that we have established in our district, access new state funding from House Bill 3 to improve post-secondary outcomes, a sub-grant to secure funding for 3 on-ramp teachers to afford students college credit with the University of Texas at Austin, a sub-grant for advising intervention through the Root Ed Alliance for mentoring and coaching, of which 70% would come from the sub-grant and 30% would come from the district. And so we're looking at ESSER 3 because it is part of learning loss as far as all the indicators on CCMR with TSI ACT. So here is a theory of action. They look at expert CCMR technical assisting and coaching, in which they provide us a lot of coaching throughout the year. And we look at analyzing, assessing, compiling all this data in the 11 indicators of CCMR. Very data-driven as far as the strategic plan. We look at the coaching, accountability, and support to implement the plan, and also to start up and bridge resources, a dedicated student success advisor. And the purpose of this advisor is that the counselors right now are inundated with so much SEL based on our webinar. Along the same line, even though we have college readiness individuals, they are also tied to testing, so this person would be like a one-to-one individualized instructor. That's, I think it's a big benefit. And in speaking with the high school principals and Ms. Mendiola, former high school principals, this is added assistance for the high school, especially during this time, to try to secure the kids to really monitor the TSI, those that are failing reading and language arts or math, and putting them on a system to get them to gain the knowledge to be able to pass the exams. So there are pre-vetted, procured programs that we're going to be going over. This is the accountability bonus criteria to earn the outcome bonuses. We're looking at the CCMR and accountability tied to the outcome bonus. So a student can earn an associate's or meet TSI criteria and enroll in post-secondary education institution immediately following high school, meets TSI criteria, and earn an IBC industry-based certification. And that is also part of the earning a level 1 or level 2 certificate. So working alongside with the CTE director. And of course, military readiness is right now temporarily suspended. So in this particular year, they were looking at 9.9, almost $10 million that could have been captured for any district. And so only 1.1 million was captured and drawn down. So 11% of the possible CCMR bonus currently captured by the rural CCMR accelerated districts. So the other percent was left in the bank. And so the focus is try to work with districts in rural CCMRs for CCMR to try to capture more and draw down more for our district, and to continue implementing the program, the coaching that they're going to give us to move on in the year 2024 and beyond. So in Mercedes, curious to know, the class of 28, and it always lags behind, the earnings was $309,000. The class of 2019, $56,000 in Mercedes ISD. And in January, the drawdown is about approximately $30,800. And as a former high school principal, you know, it could be close. This is a class of 2020 that was locked down. And so, you know, it could contribute to that, but still, we can do so much, a lot more to help the counselors with this individual to try to get the students to meet one of the indicators. I think it's very important. So the overall, it's an 18-month program, a cycle from February 2022, of which we already embarked on, having meetings with the coaching, through July of 2023, working at analyzing student and campus level data, build CCMR strategic plan, implement and monitor the CCMR strategic plan. And in looking at this, Mercedes High School alone, and I know the college readiness and high school principals will be presenting at the end of the year where they're at, but currently the senior class in Mercedes High School is a class of 253 students. Only 13.4% have earned an indicator on CCMR. So they do need a lot of assistance. When we look at Mecca, the senior class of 107 students, 99%. So when we looked at the two schools, and you'll see the percent, and that information is not there, but I went ahead and looked at our shared drive on our Excel sheet that we stay in the loop of what's going on in the campus, because they're constantly, when they're testing students, the college readiness advisors are inputting all that information in the Excel sheet, and that's how we know how they're doing. It stands to reason, and per the committee, that MHS is the one that we need that student success advisor to help them out. The 11th grade class has 263, the 10th graders have 294, and the freshman class have 313 students. So we do want to help that campus, and that's where we would place the person. On the next slide. So the benefits, you customize the CCMR strategic plan and needs assessment developed in partnership with these coaches, a startup funding to implement an advisory intervention, assistance with capturing state CCMR funding through House Bill 3, and the outcome bonus opportunity, ongoing support from expert implementation providers, professional learning opportunities with peers across Texas. And so these are the three core program components. One is TSI readiness. It's a Sure Score is the name of the program, where it tracks the students from 9th to 12th grade, and any student that's fallen behind on math, it provides them an intervention. This I did not have at my high school, but this is something that would come free to our district because of this. The Texas Impact Network would pay for it to help our students for that time span. Then the Root Ed Alliance will coach the student success advisor. The National Student Clearinghouse would track the students beyond college, beyond high school. Sometimes we have to go into the National Student Clearinghouse, but we don't have access to it quickly. We have to wait. But here, the Student Success Advisor would have access immediately, as well as the high school principal, as well as their counselors. What I like about it also is UT on Ramps is part of this program. 3 teachers get to go. We send a survey to our students to find out what are courses that they would be interested in, whether it's an English 301K, and those are the course names at UT Austin, a college algebra class, or a U.S. history of, if they don't want to do STC, they can easily do UT on Ramps. And they would become actually University of Texas at Austin students. As a high school student, they would have an ID, they would have access to all their resources at the University of Texas. They actually can buy tickets for football games and et cetera. And of course, we'll be offering these courses on campus. And the teachers that elect to be part of this would go to the training, they would come back, they would be the liaison, and it would be online with the distance learning with the UT University of Texas professor. So that's a big perk right there. You also have number 3, career craft. What they would do is very similar to workforce, and they would look at our career pathways to see if they're in line with our community in the Rio Grande Valley, and what are the areas, and revise our career pathways if need be, to make sure that that is what our students are, the labor market is letting us know that we need, the labor market analysis. So that's a big plus. Then if we move on to the next slide. So we have information here, general commitments. They promise to listen to us in response to what our needs are, collaborate, honor what we are doing, and just strengthen it, be responsive to our emails, communication, so forth. And then, of course, that would be us for them, and then you have your district commitment. But as a team of a committee, we came together and we felt this was a very important system that we do want to be a part of, so that it can be sustained. Are there any questions on this particular program?
I just have a quick, guys, anybody have any questions? Apologize. Mr. Howe, any questions?
No, sir.
Anybody have any questions, guys?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just have a quick question, Ms. Mendiola and Dr. Castillo. We're discussing the high school, right? But for some odd reason, when I was reading this, I was thinking about the middle school. Can you enlighten us about how the middle school I know they're in pathways, correct? Is there any way we can
They can
incorporate it with the middle school? Yes, there you go, benefit.
Okay, so this starts with a cohort, let's say the class of 2024. So the class of 2024 are sophomores,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So that's the group that that person, he or she would be following, which is a total of 294. But it doesn't mean that that person can go and provide presentations to the middle school to let them know these are the things that we have at Mercedes High School. We have UT on ramps, you have STC enrollment, but you need to start thinking as an eighth grader, we need to start thinking about the TSI so we can get them into those college courses their freshman year.
Yes, because I'm really perplexed because when at the high school, I think we have a Gear Up program. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
Ms.
at
Miguel?
the
So
sophomore level.
Is that already integrated into this program? I mean,
No, it's a part, sir. It's a part.
It's different.
So this one here, what it does, it looks for the cohort. You think of Gear Up is more about the counseling the student, making sure they're taking, certain courses, what career pathway. That's different compared to this here. The Gear Up program started in 7th grade, and they have followed them. But right now, we have student success, this particular advisor, that will help, because of the loss of outcome bonuses that you saw,
Yes,
it's to
yes, we did.
regain them back,
okay.
to regain that funding back. And so the idea is to grow that, because like I said, there's a lot that was left in the bucket, and we need to capture that back.
Okay.
And I'm really excited because in speaking to Mr. Nojosa, Ms. Mendiola, this is something, right now the counselors are inundated with so much social emotional learning.
Oh, absolutely.
And the college career readiness advisors are also working with testing, TSI testing, ACT testing, and so forth. But at the same time, you need someone that's going to be one-to-one with that student. So if you're looking at the class of 294 students, their goal, if I were the person, then I would be meeting with Root Ed every 2 weeks, and I have to submit reports that I've already captured so many.
Okay.
So that's the idea, trying to get 100% to get that indicator when they graduate.
Fair enough. Thank you.
And so it's a mutual benefit for the student because they can earn, different level of certificates through CTE. They can be prepared for their TSI, AP exams. It benefits the student, but it also benefits the district in the outcome bonuses on CCMR.
Right.
It will give us more points, but it'll also give us more money.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Really
Dr.
good,
Castillo.
really good.
Any more questions, guys? Okay, let's move along with 3. Region 1 enrollment and rating comparison by Dr. Nancy Castillo, Assistant Superintendent, RCI. Ms. Mendiola.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and Board of Trustees, I asked Dr. Castillo to put this presentation together. It's a brief presentation. I know we've been discussing enrollment trends in our district and across the valley, so I thought it'd be pertinent that she share this information with our community, with our trustees, to show the enrollment trends as of the last 3 years in our district and across, as I mentioned, across the region.
So as you know, on this particular enrollment trend, I do want to credit our data fellow. Our data fellow has been awesome. Because she does take a lot of time to put all this together and charting it together. Of course, our source is the Region 1 2021-22 budgeting tools. And so when we did this here, you'll see that the green, it's like a thermos. So you have green, cold, and then going down is hot. So you'll see Mercedes ISD, the year is 2019-2020, 4,941, and 21-22, you have 4,418. So 523 decrease with 11% decrease in the rating was B. But what was interesting is the larger districts had larger drops in enrollment. And so this trend, and it's everywhere, you can see the charter schools are the ones that are gaining them, so they're doing something, they're taking our kids, And we'll be sharing something with you in a while where they're going, who's sending them, and where we're receiving them. It's interesting to see. But you can see that everyone is having the same issue. And on the next page, you'll see the first ratings. We started off with IDEA at the top, and you'll see Mercedes highlighted at the bottom. The 18-19 first score based on the first fiscal 2018 rating and the letter grade. And then you have 2019-2020 and the letter grade. And then you have 2020-21 first rating based on 2020 fiscal year 84 and a B. So you'll see everyone below us and everyone above us. Very interesting report. So Mercedes has done wonderful. And we're headed in that direction as well. On the next page, you'll see the 3-year first rating difference. And so this time you'll see it by points. And so Mercedes is at the top with a 40% gain. And then you just go down the list and you'll see all the others. So, you know, you'll see districts that have gone from 100 down to 90 and 80 and so forth. So that's a very interesting report. When you look at it, the story tells you something else about those districts as well. So on the next page, receiving schools, you'll see that most of the students, the receiving, where we're sending them or where they're coming from, we have IDEA 57, and it goes down to San Benito 1. In reviewing this report, we were wondering, you know, some of us were looking at the report. Sometimes teachers work there, teachers work here, they bring their kids back and forth. But COVID really took a lot of kids to charter schools, I think. Virtual Learning Academy, South Texas ISD. Then if you look at the next page, sending. The sending, you have Weslaco 53, and you have it all the way to South Texas ISD.
And this data is, it's not labeled, but this is as of this year's PEAM snapshot date.
Okay.
So again, just information for our trustees, for our community, so that we can keep an eye on where our kids are going, and of course, the ones that are coming to us. And we want to keep them all. We want to be competitive. We want to stay competitive. And so we look at these trends and we look at this data consistently.
You know, to be fair, let me interject again. I actually called the superintendent, guys, and, because I thought it was a typo or something, but IDEA Academy, 67,500, I believe, right?
Their enrollment?
Yeah,
yes.
enrollment, right? And I just called her up. I says, wait a minute, that's probably including San Antonio. I think they have one this year, right?
Yes.
But that is just,
Region 1.
This is just Region 1.
Region 1.
All the IDEA schools in Region 1.
and then this year, they got 12,500, correct?
This year alone, over 12,000 students enrolled at IDEA.
Yeah, that's where we're up against that, guys.
So again, we want to stay competitive, look at the trends, and keep our kids in Mercedes. That's our goal. And the last slide?
Yes, the last slide is a 6-year fall enrollment by campus, and so now we narrowed it even further. So you're looking at high school all the way down to elementary, and you can see where the numbers are going down, and you can even take it down to the grade level and look at that pattern, the patterns and the trends if you'd like. But here you'll see Mercedes High School in 16-17, 1,096, and 21-22, 1,007. And then you just, you know, look from side to side, column, you'll see increase, decrease, increase, decrease.
Any questions?
Any questions, guys? Comments? We got a lot of work to do. Thank you, Dr. Castillo.
You're welcome.
Ms.
Thank
Mendiola.
you.
Thank you.
We gotta have the conversation, guys. How difficult it is, we gotta have them going. Okay. Let's move along on the action agenda, guys. A, business office, discussion and possible action to approve the 2021-2022 budget amendment number 3, general operation. Ms. Mendiola.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, administration is recommending approval of the 2021-2022 budget amendment number 3, general operations. This item was discussed at our budget workshop prior to spring break.
Guys, may I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion for Mr. Garza. May I have a second?
Second?
Okay, we have a second for Mr. Trevino. Any discussion, guys? No? Any discussion, guys? Okay, so we got a motion from Mr. Garza, second by Mr. Trevino. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Unanimous, the motion passes. Next one, 2, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of a 170-ton chiller for Sergeant William Harold Middle School through the by-board cooperative. Ms. Mendiola.
Mr. Chairman, administration is recommending approval of the purchase of the 170-ton chiller for Sergeant Harold Middle School through By Board Cooperative. We did receive the bids, and we are recommending approval of the best bid.
Thank you, Ms. Mendiola. Guys, may I entertain a motion?
So moved?
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Trevino. Second, guys?
Second?
Second from Ms. Delgado. Guys, any discussion?
Yes, just one comment. I know that, this is going to be, this is good. Mr. Herrera, you've been working at this for quite a while. I know when I first started as a school board member, I did get a couple of calls regarding the situation there, and you were very transparent, you were very open about the repairs that were needed for this particular campus. And I know that our students and staff will, are going to be more comfortable. And thank you very much for all the work. Thank you for keeping us updated on the repairs. So I really appreciate all the work that you and your staff have done. And I know the staff's going to be, students and staff are going to be very happy about this.
Yes, ma'am, that's the goal.
We're trying to keep, we're trying to make sure that all our facilities are taken care of, despite all the changes that we're going to have. This is big. So thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions, guys? Any comments? I just have a quick question, Mr. Herrera. I apologize.
Yes, sir.
Hey, on this particular item, we'll have the maintenance agreements, we'll have all the documentation, because
Yes,
I think
of course.
I've already asked that.
Yes, we'll have the maintenance, we'll have the warranties, the extended warranties for labor and parts, which is very important. We want to make sure
Right.
that when we make a purchase, all those things are included because they're very important to our staff and to, of course, it's immediate action. When you have these warranties in place, the companies make sure that you have the service that you paid for versus waiting in line and a day or two, which would be a big inconvenience to our students and staff. Right, Mr. Harvey? Mr. Harvey, we deal very close, we communicate. We have some issues, power outages and just the age and the lack of maintenance on these chillers, and this is going to be a big improvement for our district. So I'm very happy that, we had the funding from, from the district made available.
Yeah, I was thinking about that chiller at Chacuan, and what's the longevity of those chillers? I'm just curious, because I don't know.
Jimmy?
The longevity of an air-cooled chiller is 15 years.
Okay.
So, to me, sort of explain a little bit, I hate to elaborate,
No, go ahead, sir. You're home, sir.
You have two chillers, 270-ton chillers, York chillers, and they're identical. They have, for lack of a better word, not maintained or whatever, and the one that's down, you have two, so that you don't need two, you just need one.
Right.
But they put two so that you can have a backup. So they'll alternate, like 1 week the whistle will run.
Oh, sure.
Okay? So that you will never be down. That's the theory when they put them in. At this point, one of them has been down for years. And the repair cost to bring, I got it running, we got it running, the team got it running, but there's leaks and there's corrosion on the compressor. So we've taken the pulse of what it's going to take to rebuild it versus what a new one would cost, and then with no warranties, and then with the high cost of Freon, everybody knows what the Freon cost is on.
Oh, yeah.
So it was more viable to, made more sense to replace it, so that when the ESSER funds came along, we decided this would be the best way. So we're going with a different type of, it's like for like, but it's a screw compressor, it's a cast iron, and And so, what I'm trying to get at is, we already got one working real good, which y'all are enjoying now. So what you're gonna have now is a brand new one.
You back up.
That will be running, and the other one will be back up. So you
Okay.
won't be down. And then we're gonna keep the old one for parts, because they're good.
Okay, fair enough, thank you. Guys, any more questions?
Yes, I had one. Like the maintenance on them, how often, or is that included in the price, or? To maintain-
The maintenance on them is a factory, a unit that we're buying from Train. So there's a 5-year warranty on parts and labor that we have purchased. So they'll come out like, it's on the
Specs?
paperwork. You've got a set rate where it'd be like 3 visits, they'll come check them. And then as we call them out for any kind of performance issues, that will be in charge of that. But it's all gonna be good for, but there's a fee for it. It's included.
Okay.
Well, thank you, both of you, very, very much for,
Thank you,
I know
guys.
this is giving, you know, a lot of headaches, and I know you worry you worry a lot about the staff and the students, and, you know, we really appreciate your efforts. Thank you so much. And we were able to, you were very transparent, you were very basic with giving me, you know, with providing information so that we can share with the parents that we're working on it, that you're working on it. So I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, guys. Any questions, guys? Comments? Good to go? Okay, guys, that pretty much ceases the discussion. We have a motion by Mr. Trevino, second by Mr. Gallo. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, the motion passes. Moving along to number 3, discussion and possible action to approve the purchase of a 450-ton chiller for Mercedes High School through the Bi-Board Cooperative Contract Number 631-20. Ms. Mendiola.
Mr. Chairman, administration does not have a recommendation at this time and requests that no action be taken.
Okay, no action then. Tony, we just move along, right? Okay, number 4, discussion and possible action to approve the revision amendment to general counsel's agreements. Guys, may I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second from Mr. Howe, second from Mr. Garza. Okay, guys, we're open for discussion. Nope. Well, Mr. Torres, thank you so much for the hard work you do. I know you have to put up with Mr. H quite a bit. So thank you, sir. Okay, that pretty much ceased the discussion, guys. We have a motion for Mr. Howe, second for Mr. Garza. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, unanimous, pass. The motion passed. Okay, moving along to the consent agenda. I'll start from the ladies first. Sorry, sir. Ms. Delgado, anything on the consent agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, Ms. Trevino?
Nope.
Mr. Garza?
No, sir.
Mr. Howe?
No, sir.
Mr. Martinez?
Nope.
And myself, nothing. So, guys, I need a motion to accept the consent agenda in its entirety.
So moved.
Okay, a motion from Mr. Garza. May I have a second, guys?
Second.
Second for Mr. Martinez. Hope it is, any discussion, guys? Any questions? Discussion, guys? Okay, discussion ceased. We have a motion for Mr. Garza and a second by Mr. Martinez. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion pass, oh, I'm sorry, anybody opposed? Okay, the motion passes, unanimous. Okay, on to the next one. No, hold on, missing. Okay, executive session, guys. Personnel pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code and attorney consultation pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. 1, resignation, terminations, appointments, evaluation, reassignments, duties, and discipline of professional, paraprofessional, non-contract employees teacher substitutes and substitutes for the maintenance, transportation, and cafeteria departments. B, student discipline. C, discussion and prior consultation with attorney regarding pending and contemplated litigation, settlement matters and/or matters where the professional duty under state board requires private consultation with a school attorney. It is 7:24, and this board is on executive session. In executive session. Yeah, that's pretty fast. Good job.